how's your experience out here at the Nike Academy?
It was intense, from the first morning we got here. Everybody got here. They told us right away what was going to be expected of us and the effort that was going to be needed to be put forth from us. And so we woke up early the next morning and got right to work. We've been working out 3 times a day the last 3 days. I think everybody's a little tired and ready to go back home and sleep for a day. But overall, I'm really happy with our effort this week.
What was your mindset kind of coming to this week? What were you looking to accomplish out here?
Well, usually, when you come to these things, not many small school players come and play, with these, big time conference players that, obviously are up for player of the year. They're in their respective conferences most of the time. And so, I just try to come in and I compete the best I can, show that I belong, show the people in the stands that this guy, can play in a major conference. He has a small school and that may be a little bit looked upon differently, but I just try to come in and play the best game I can.
How do you think you were able to perform out here?
Well, other than the last few games we played, I made a good amount of shots. I missed a few too that have probably bugged me for a little bit, but it's just a matter of competing, being able to adapt with the different players. You don't get to play with these guys on a regular basis, so you got to adapt as the week goes along and just kind of feel everybody out the first day and hopefully develop a little chemistry with somebody along the way.
What can you tell us about your trajectory as a basketball player? You weren't the most well-known guy coming into college, but we saw right away that you were, one of the more productive guys in your class. Did you just improve significantly, over the last few years, or were you a guy that didn't get as much exposure as other players?
My high school coach told me that I'm never going to be the most athletic, I'm never going to be the strongest, but one thing that you can control is how hard you work and, how much time you put in versus the next, even though everybody talks about how much better somebody else is than you. If you're working harder than them, in the long run, it's going to end up evening itself out. You're going to catch up to them. So that, I just try to develop a great work ethic and, hopefully stay the course. And where people want to talk about, my trajectory or not, I just try to go and work as hard as I can. Hopefully I get to where I want to go. That's playing in the NBA someday.
Were you in the same gyms as these other, top 100 guys? Did you get a chance to play against them? Like, what was that? What kind of player were you then?
In AAU, I didn't play in the UIBL. I didn't play in the top circuits or, in the top tournaments or anything like that. And I was also 3 inches shorter, 20 pounds lighter, not as athletic as I got to be now. And so, I'm a totally different player, a totally different body out there, So I think as my years in college went on, I played against Oregon last year. 3 of the Oregon players are here. I've kind of, developed that durability that can play against the bigger, stronger, faster guys that come from the bigger conferences.
You had kind of a unique opportunity this summer to explore transferring anywhere you wanted without, sitting out, and you ultimately decided to stay at Valpo. What was, how hard was that for you, and what ultimately led your decision to stay?
It was really hard. Everything happened so quick. We got back from New York and the NIT, and then after the next weekend, our coach had taken another job, and within the next few days, again, another coach got hired, a guy Matt Loddick, that had come in with me my freshman year, been there for 3 years. And so suddenly that week that went by felt like a whole year, and everything happened so fast. I was doing the whole NBA draft thing, hopefully, getting some exposure that way, working out for teams, and ultimately I pulled my name out. But at the end of the day, I just kind of stopped thinking about it so critically, and I just what do I want? And in order for me, I think, to be at the next level and to get drafted next year, I think that staying at Valpo was the best, choice for me. And, my teammates too. I couldn't imagine playing with anybody else than those guys there.
You guys made a deep run last year to the NIT, all the way to the Garden you got, and you put up huge numbers. You won individual awards in your conference. What's left for you to accomplish here in your senior year that you haven't done already?
Our team's built for an NCAA tournament run, and I really believe that. And I think, with the leadership we have and the seniority that we have this year, we're a team that is going to be dangerous come March. And it's kind of sucks being in our situation in the Horizon League. It's like you lose in your conference tournament, and you're automatically, not even considered for the NCAA tournament. So hopefully this year our non-conference schedule, I think, is going to be a lot tougher. And hopefully build our resume a little bit that way, so it doesn't have to come to that. But I, thoroughly think that we can be that team in March that everybody's picking up their brackets to go make a run.
What about individually? What do you think we could see from you this year that might be different from the first 3 years?
Definitely want to improve my middle game. I've been a catch and shoot 3-point guy, and I've been a low post block, turn and finish kind of guy, and I want to be able to catch 15 feet or one dribble pull up at 15 feet. Make make moves like that because people are going to start running me off the arc. They're going to make me put the ball on the deck because what I want to do is shoot. And so, I mean, developing that game and developing that touch from 15 feet range, I think is ultimately something that I need to do this year to get myself to the next level and for our team to succeed.
Any guys in the NBA that you enjoy watching?
Yeah, I love watching actually Mirza Teletovic. You know, he moves really well around the arc and he always finding open creases and spaces and shoots the ball really well. He's a big guy too, big white guy that I like to compare myself to. Chandler Parsons is one of my childhood idols. I grew up watching him when I was in middle school, and his story when I watched him, it was just incredible. I fell in love with him ever since, and probably kind of the reason I wear number 25 is because of him. So, I mean, guys like that, Doug McDermott, I've seen every clip from his senior year at Creighton, on Synergy, watching film and stuff, trying to act like it. You just try to pick something from each person. Hopefully you can add it to the game.
Great stuff, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good luck.